माता की।
It's a packed trip for the Prime Minister, diaspora, diplomacy, drones, you name it, he's done it. We just showed you the pictures from New York. That was Prime Minister Modi's diaspora event. Around 15,000 Indian Americans attended it. Some great pictures for sure. But this trip goes beyond images and symbolism, and it comes at a very important time. A, it's election season in America. Joe Biden will be out by early next year. Either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump will replace him. And B, India-US ties are going through a rough patch, mainly because of Khalistan. The US has accused India of plotting to murder a Khalistani separatist. His name is Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, and he lives in the US. Now, India has denied this allegation, but it has certainly left a bad taste. So the Prime Minister has a complicated job in America. Navigate the divided US polity, smooth out the differences, and build on the gains of the last 10 years. The question is, has he succeeded? Well, let's look at what he's packed in this trip. First up was a meeting with Joe Biden. Not in Washington, though. The meeting was at Biden's home in Delaware. Modi and Biden discussed a number of issues like space cooperation, semiconductors, the global south, and killer drones. They emphasized on two key issues. One was building a chip plant in Kolkata. The US Space Force will set up this facility, this chip plant in Kolkata. It will be India's first national security chip fabrication plant. What does that mean? It means that the plant will produce chips for the military, both Indian and American. That's one. Secondly, they discussed drones. India is buying 31 Predator drones from the US. Both Biden and Modi reaffirmed their support for this deal. They also promised to expand defense cooperation. Now, this was part of Modi's mission, part one of his mission, in fact, government-to-government cooperation. Part two was the private sector. American investments will be crucial for India's economy, especially when it comes to AI and chips. So Prime Minister Modi met a group of 15 tech CEOs on Sunday. You had Google CEO Sundar Pichai, Nvidia's Jensen Huang, and the CEOs of Adobe, AMD, and IBM. These tech companies are looking to diversify their production lines. So Prime Minister Modi said, come to India. He says India will become a credible and reliable player in the chip race.
जिस गति से दुनिया में एक विषय चला उसमें हम लेट हैं, लेकिन हम एक बार शुरू करते हैं तो हमारी गति भी उतनी तेज होती है। अब जैसे 5G में हम लेट थे, लेकिन आज हम नंबर 1 पर है, तो ये भारत की अपनी एक विशेषता भी है। भारत के पास ग्लोबल सेमीकंडक्टर इकोसिस्टम सप्लाई चेन में एक रिलायबल और क्रेडिबल पार्टनर बनने की पूरी क्षमता है।
That's government-to-government cooperation done and private cooperation done. So finally, Prime Minister Modi turned to the diaspora. Yes, these events are good politics, but they're also good diplomacy. Modi has pitched Indian Americans as a sort of a bridge, a link between India and the US. So he used the New York event to frame this bilateral relationship. He called it a force for global good.
भारत और अमेरिका की पार्टनरशिप लगातार मजबूत हो रही है। हमारी पार्टनरशिप ग्लोबल गुड के लिए है। दुनिया के लिए एआई का मतलब है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, लेकिन मैं मानता हूं कि एआई का मतलब है अमेरिकन इंडियन।
Prime Minister Modi has also stayed away from US politics. Trump said that the Indian Prime Minister would meet him. So far, that meeting has not happened. The Prime Minister hasn't met Trump or Kamala Harris, which is very different from the last time. You may remember in 2019, Modi held a massive event with Trump in Texas, the Howdy Modi event, and that too in the middle of campaigning. There was some pushback against the optics of that event. So this time, Prime Minister Modi has steered clear. It tells you how this relationship has also grown and how mature it has become. The visit also follows Modi's trips to Ukraine and Russia. He met both Zelensky and Putin. He also called for peace. That was a clear display of India's strategic autonomy. But autonomy does not mean isolation. India is very much keen on building ties with all countries, all its partners. And in that group, the US is a strategic priority, an area of focus. That's the biggest takeaway from this trip, really. The maturity and resilience of this relationship, which wasn't the case before. There was a lot of trust deficit between the two sides, so even small issues could derail progress. Maybe not anymore. The Khalistan case may remain a thorn, but it's not affecting the wider cooperation. Modi and Biden still discussed national security priorities like semiconductors, defense products, supply chains. The focus is not on a myopic, China-centric partnership. It's on a long-term symbiotic relationship. In the last 10 years, Prime Minister Modi has invested a lot in these ties. This is his 9th US visit as Prime Minister of India, and it doesn't look like his focus will change in the third term.